this is Gian. Welcome to the first video on my channel, and for this video I'm so excited because I'm going to show to you how I recreate some beautiful home decors inspired by the Urban Outfitters. I'm a huge fan of Urban Outfitters, and I could say that all of my DIYs turned out so amazing and I was able to save a lot instead of buying the original piece. But don't get me wrong guys, I'm a fine believer that nothing beats the original creator of all the projects that I'm going to recreate. So all of the home decors that I'm going to be DIYing will be mentioned down below, as well as the Urban Outfitters website, so you can check them out as well. But before we start, I would like to invite you to subscribe to my channel for more DIY home decors, and you can also follow me on my Instagram account at Gian. And without further ado, let's jump into our video. For our first DIY, I'm going to be recreating this Urban Outfitters Rattan Eye wall hanging mirror, and it costs $49 US. And these are the supplies that we're going to need on this project. List of materials will be mentioned down below. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to create some paper tubes as a cheap alternative to rattan. If you don't know what paper tube is, guys, remember when your grade school days and you're weaving basket out of paper? This is what exactly we're going to do here. I started off by cutting my papers lengthwise in 4 equal parts, and then after that, I'm using a skewers or anything that you have on hand that make the job done, and roll your paper for about 15 degrees angle. And then I apply a thin line of glue to secure it in place. And I just pull my skewers now, and I just need to repeat the process until I have at least 50 pieces or more. Keep in mind guys that the amount of paper tubes you need will depend on how big or small your mirror is. So the next step is we're going to create this eye pattern. This will become the base of our mirror and also act as a rendering surface for our paper tubes. To create the eye pattern, I just took my circle mirror and traced on the top of my cardboard box. Now using a protractor, I will create again a circle inside of my circle to create a 1-inch frame. It's quite hard to explain how I sketch my eye pattern, but what I did is I just basically marked 2 parallel points from the outer circle. This going to be the distance that's about 6 to 7 inches depending on what you desire. And from there, I just need to sketch out this curved line so that I will connect the 2 points together, crossing above and under the outer circle. And then after that, I just need to cut it in shape with this box cutter. Now the next step is we can now wrap our paper tubes on our pattern to create this faux rattan texture. And as you can see, it's pretty self-explanatory how I did this. I just use my hot glue to secure it from behind. I use again my hot glue to secure it and continue my process. attach my paper tubes at the back side. I started at the top center, and just like the original Urban Outfitters eye mirror, I went ahead and gradually decreased the bamboo's length as I go towards the sides. And then after that, I go ahead and put the equal size of paper tubes at the bottom lids as well. Now this is what my eye mirror looks like, so the next step is painting. So I just go ahead and started to paint my piece with this terracotta tone acrylic paint. And then, just to add a little more dimension, I went ahead and add a very small amount of brown and dilute it in the water to give this piece a darker wash. And then I go ahead and created my hanger. So to create this hanger, I took this brown piece of faux leather and this piece of what you call D-rings. This piece is available on your local fabric supply stores or online shops. And to create this hanger, I just cut a small strip of this leather and loop it around my ring, just like shown. And then I just went ahead and secured it on the back of my project with a ton of hot glue. And lastly, I took my rounded mirror, attached it to the back of my piece with some hot glue, and we are done with our wall hanging mirror. I really love how this piece turned out. For our next DIY, we're going to be recreating this moon face wall hanging. And the supplies you need are very minimal. So I started off by measuring out my canvas on the size that I wanted my tapestry to be. I just kinda eyeball it, so I go for 6 inches by 36 inches, I think. You don't have to exactly follow this step, but you can pretty much customize this on the size that you wanted. After that, I just go ahead and cut it. I also frayed the edges of my canvas to give this more a handmade raw look. Next is I'm going to take my piece of paper and draw out a circle using a compass. And then I cut it into shape. And then I use that to trace out my circle to the center of my tapestry to create my full moon. And then using that same circle template, I use that to create the following moon faces. Now that I'm done drawing my moon faces, I just go ahead and paint all of my moon faces with this black household paint. You need to be careful with this part, so I just take my time and slowly color my moon. So once I was done painting, I let my tapestry to dry fully, and then I go ahead and attach my wooden dowel. I pre-cut this wooden dowel. This is about 7.5 inches, and I also sanded smooth to remove the jagged edges. So I just go ahead and simply place my wooden rod at the top of my tapestry and sandwiching it to the fabric and securing it with a line of hot glue at the back. Now it's time to give our tapestry this black fringe. So to do that, I take a piece of cardboard and cut it for about 3 inches thick. Now take a black yarn and neatly wrap it to the cardboard, aligning them to create a single strand all the way. After that, I just went ahead and attached it to the end of my tapestry with a line of hot glue just like shown here. And then I took my scissors and cut it to the end to reveal my fringe. And to finish it all off, I took my piece of macrame cord and attached it to the wooden dowel. And we are done with this version of Urban Outfitters wall hanging moon face. I'm so happy on how this turned out. For our third DIY, I'm going to be recreating this kitten photo clip from Urban Outfitters. This is made up of ceramic and it costs $10. The first step is I'm taking this medium amount of this air dry clay and then I knead it until it becomes soft, smooth, and malleable. I started to roll it on the surface to create this hot dog shape, and now I use my slicing tool and I slice it into 2 equal parts. I set aside the first half because this is going to be the body of our kitten. And then the second half, I went ahead and divided into 6 equal parts, which is going to be the head, arms, legs, and tail. And what I did next is quite hard to explain, but I just started to sculpt the head of my kitten just like shown, and I would suggest to look at the reference picture so you will have a guide. And after that, I just continue sculpting it all off. Using the 4 remaining pieces of this clay, I sculpt almost like an eggplant shape and repeat the process to the 4 remaining pieces. This is going to be the limbs of our kitten. And lastly, I create a small hot dog shape on the last remaining small piece, and this is going to be the tail. Now it's time to attach all the pieces together, and using some glue, I just slightly melt all the parts together to create a seamless look. Take note that you must have a space between the arms so that your photo will slide onto the arms of the kitten. After that, I let my kitten to fully dry. Now that my kitten is fully dry, I took my white acrylic paint and brush and paint the kitten white to create this faux ceramic look. After it dries, I started drawing its detail. are done with our Kitten photo stand. So that's all for today, guys. I hope that you enjoy watching all of this video as much as I enjoy creating all of these DIYs for you. Please comment down below which one's your favorite. And thank you so much for watching my very first video on this channel, guys. And if you want to see more of these DIYs, please subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon so you'll be notified every time I have a new uploaded video. And you can also follow me on my Instagram account at GNRChannel. And I think that's all. Have a wonderful day, everyone. I will see you again next time. Bye, guys.